Next, a very special guest, Gil Hakim, CEO of Matricelf. Thanks for being here. An exciting moment for Matricelf as you move from preclinical to human trials for spinal cord injury treatment. And in the last 90 days, you've announced 2 partnerships with Shiba, another one in Japan. You've also said you're looking into listing on the NASDAQ. You're exploring that. Where are you in that timeline for the first in-human implantation?
Hi, good morning and nice to meet you. Our timeline for the first in-human is expected during the first half of 2027 already.
Wow, that's very soon.
Yes, it's
Very
around
soon.
the corner.
Wow, unbelievable. And you're working on paralysis right now.
Yes,
On paralysis.
complete paralysis.
Complete paralysis from?
What we call chronic state. That means 1 year after the injury. That's the state that we are treating, and so that will be around that time.
And you said you're working on paralysis, but not only, there's more in the roadmap, I understand. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on?
Well, we need to be focused. The platform that we have licensed platform technology from Tel Aviv University, from the lab of Professor Tal Dvir. And this technology allows us to do many things, exploring many indications, but we have to start, and we're focusing on spinal cord injury. However, there is a potential to do work on Parkinson's disease, on traumatic brain injury. That's what the technology allows us. But as a startup, I have to focus on one indication and to start with that.
So laser focused on paralysis right now for spinal cord injuries, 1 year after the injury. And as you get past those milestones, you'll be looking at Parkinson's and other indications.
Exactly.
Wow, it's really meaningful. In simple words, reversing paralysis, helping people walk again, that kind of stuff is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Very impactful.
Yeah, and it's quite amazing. This indication is something which is, the body is wired. The brain is connected to the muscles, to the rest of the body, and the spinal cord is the highway, the connecting path between the brain and the rest of the body. And a small injury in that pathway block everything from the injury to down. So if the injury is in the neck, that means that, like what happens with Christopher Reeve, Superman, then the injury then means the paralysis is all limbs, hands and legs. If the paralysis or if the injury is in the back, that means it's just waist down. So it's really a very important highway that is important on the connecting the brain to the rest of the body. And what we are trying to do is to fix this injury site, because everything else is working. Just the communication, that's what we try to fix.
So it's very targeted at the specific point of injury.
Yes.
And what's the idea of using the patient's own cells, and it's regenerative medicine? Can you tell me a little bit about what that means in simple terms?
Well, there is our body is a very sophisticated machine, and anything that you want to transplant will be resisted if it's outsourced. And what we are able to do with our technology is to overcome that problem and overcome the immune system tendency to reject anything, any foreign parts. So we are taking the patient's own cells, its fat tissue and blood cells, and during our proprietary technology, we are able to convert that into neural functional tissue, and this tissue is transplanted back to the site of injury, and without the need to take any medicine to prevent the rejection.
Anyway, so it's self-healing, helping the body heal itself.
We are using the patient's own like a warehouse for replacement. Yeah.
It's truly incredible. You've been in life sciences for 25 years, if I'm not mistaken. How did you get to Matricelf?
Well, I joined Matricelf a year and a half ago. In my past, in the history, I was taking companies, I took companies from early stage, idea stage, and leading them from preclinical and then to human trials, financially from a private investment to public investment. And Matricelf, when I came across Matricelf, I said, this technology is something which I would. Who doesn't want to be part of this amazing technology?
What was that moment for you that you said, what was it about it?
Well, you are curing something which is never been cured before. It's not just another disease, another drug, another therapy, or another medical device. This is something completely different. It's really a breakthrough in the way we look at healing uncurable diseases or damages, and that's something which strikes me. This is something which I usually, that's what I did in my past 25 years. Yeah, it's quite a lot. It's trying to go and break, or I would say, break glasses. Ceilings, the glass ceilings. Try to bring into the world therapies which are new breakthrough and Matricelf is the next thing. Regenerative medicine is the next big thing in medicine, because we start with spinal cord injury, but as I said, you can help treating Parkinson disease, traumatic brain injury, stroke. Actually, our licensed technology is enable us also, if we want in the future, to print organs with 3D bioprinting. So it's an amazing place to be, with amazing technology that we have, and I'm happy that I joined.
And what else is going on in the regenerative medicine space in general?
Well, they are looking at everywhere in the body where there is a need to replace.
So potentially you could replace all your body parts one day, and your organs and your sinews and tissues. And
that's actually Professor Tal Dvir, one of the founders. Actually, he was able to print a human heart.
Yes. First 3D printed heart. That made a lot of headlines.
Yeah. So that's something which, so that can give you an idea.
Right? It was beating also, right?
Well,
I remember reading that headline.
I know that he transplanted that and to see how it works. But what it gives you the idea what can be done.
Mm-hmm. It's actually breaking that mold of the limitations that we think we have in what we can achieve in the limit of the human body. Yeah. Now, how much of let's say like regenerative medicine, reaches like the holy grail, and you're able to now like on demand replace body parts and muscles and nerves and nervous systems, maybe. Yeah. How much of the body do you replace before you stop being you?
That's a great question. I think.
Can a Mac become a PC?
Well,
would it want to?
Well, I don't know if you can bioprint a soul.
Oh, wow. Now we're talking. Okay, tell me more.
So we can replace anything that is physically can be that which is damage. Yeah, and we start with spinal cord injury, and then we can move to any type of tissue. So yeah. In a sense, you can replace a lot, but I think that there is something which is above everything, and
holding it all together.
Yeah.
Well, they do say that the body is the home of the spirit or the soul, right? So I guess now you're talking about regenerative medicine. You've used the word damage, or when something is broken or injury. What do you think about using it for upgrades? Let's say I want to just upgrade. I want a better brain. I want to think faster. I want to see farther. I don't know. I want to become super Sophie.
Who is going to draw the line? What is upgrade, what is not upgrade, what is normal, what is normal, what is not normal. I think let's start fixing, and there's a lot to fix before we start thinking about upgrading. That's my opinion.
Is there an ethical concern around upgrading when it's not a damage question?
Again, it's something which it's not something which we will decide. I believe and I hope that it will be decided by the regulatory agencies. What we are focusing right now on fixing the damage, and there is a lot to fix. There is the spinal cord injury, for instance. Just in the U.S. is spent $30 billion a year on spinal cord injury. So fixing that can help not just the patients, but can help the economy. They can help the global the global health situation. So I think we focus on fixing before upgrading. There is a lot to work to do there.
Yeah, you talk a lot about focus. Seems I'm detecting a theme here. Now, one thing that I'd like to shift your focus to is that I know you've signaled, again, exploring NASDAQ listing and maybe as soon as next year. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, as we have announced, we are looking at dual listing in NASDAQ. Actually,
oh, so you'd be dual listing. You're not leaving
listing.
Tel Aviv because, of course, you are traded on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange today.
Yes, correct.
Ticker MTLF for those who are watching.
Yeah, so the ticket is MTLF, and we are planning dual listing already this year, Q4 this year, and with the goal to do another, I would call it during 2027, a large so-called IPO or large call or offering for round of investment.
And how does that benefit you, dual listing, as a biotech in Israel that's already been listed here for quite some time?
Yeah. So NASDAQ is the ideal place for biotech companies, better than the TASE.
And why is that?
Because you have special analysts to cover our companies. You have more capital. You have access to the leading companies. So you have access to the market, you have better coverage, and you have access to capital, which is larger and bigger and better than what the TASE is allowing us.
Yeah, I know the TASE can be pretty brutal for biotechs. And in general, I think biotechs don't get enough kind of mention, because everyone's talking about cyber. I can tell you about all the, talent
AI and
pipeline.
cyber, exactly.
Not knowing anything about Israel, we can talk about, one at a time, talent pipeline to cybersecurity. Is there anything, in Israel that's, trying to boost the industry, push the industry forward, not just in the headlines, but is it really something, can Israel become like a huge leader in biotech like it's become in cyber?
Well, I hope so. We are called the startup nation. Yeah, there is a lot of great ideas that are coming from the universities.
But are there enough biotech programs? Are there enough biotech
there are hundreds of biotech companies in Israel, startups that need the attention, need the resources in order to I would say. Realize the ideas into product, and it requires a lot of resources. A biotech, as one knows, it takes time for to prove the whole way, from proof of concept, from an idea to proof of concept to preclinical to clinical. That requires a lot. So we need a lot of resources for that, and then NASDAQ is a good place to get resources.
So you're basically saying, by doing that, you're saying that it's easier and better for a company like yours to raise money in the U.S. than in Israel, being in biotech? To
start with Israel, of course, but when you advance in your program, in your clinical program, you require much larger...
different level of resources.
Exactly.
And why is it hard for biotechs in Israel to raise money and to get attention? I've heard this complaint a lot from entrepreneurs.
Well,
I don't know if that's your experience.
I know only the biotech area.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest, but
only in biotech. They say it's very hard to raise money.
Yeah, because I think the time, the cycle, the life cycle.
The time you said, it takes a long time.
It takes time, and investors want to see ROI quickly.
And who are some of the best biotech investors in Israel?
I cannot, it really...
Other than yours.
It also changes within, It depends on the fund. It depends on the what's going on in the market, what is hot. Yeah, so it's hard to say which biotech investor is the best.
Well, I tried to get you on that one, but you wouldn't give me an answer. Maybe next time when you come to the studio. Gil Hakim, CEO of Matricelf, ticker MTLF, on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, and soon maybe on the NASDAQ. Thank you so much for your time. The first human implantation is targeted very soon, and we'd like to have you back when that happens. And we'll see you soon. For TV10 Global, I'm Sophia Tupolev, and this has been your Weekend Edition.